Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It has been months since I have gotten to unbox some retro collection figures, so I'm very excited for this box set. So today we are looking at the Star Wars Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith 6-pack. This was an exclusive set to Disney and Hasbro Pulse. I had ordered these originally from Hasbro Pulse. They were still sitting on kind of pre-order. They were in stock on Disney. I ordered them about 2 days ago and they arrived today, so I'm very excited to get them in hand and get them open. The downside of this set is that we only get 3 characters from each of the last 2 prequel films. I would have loved a full wave for each movie, but at this point I'll take what I can get. Now this box does fall in line with the other box sets. You get all the characters, just some photography from the films up top, and then you have all of the action figures on the sides. So this box is a little thinner than the other box sets that we've gotten. I'll go into the reason why in just a moment, but we have out of this set for Attack of the Clones, we have Mace Windu. He's looking pretty sharp. And I will say with these, we do, just like the other box sets, we get pretty thick cardstock. They're also unpunched card backs. So we have Mace Windu, Jango Fett, Padme, of course. Those are the 3 from Attack of the Clones. And for Revenge of the Sith, we have Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker. Even though we kind of get it, the card art is of technically him as Darth Vader, I believe. We have General Grievous, that one I'm really excited about. And last but not least, of course, a clone trooper. It's looking pretty sharp. So there are the 6. Now, the reason why the box is a lot thinner than the other box sets, the blisters seem to be a lot shallower. We were getting pretty much the thickness of the vintage collection blisters there for a while. These seem to be a little bit smaller. Obviously not quite as small as the originals, but I believe that that's the reason why we got a little bit smaller of a box for this set as well. So we'll go ahead and open these up, check each one out, and I'll give you my thoughts. All right, moving left from right here, we start out with Mace Windu. This figure is of Mace in his Jedi robes with a cloth little cloak here. Now again, this one, similar to some of the other retro, the hood fits really well. You know, you can have it up and it kind of covers his whole head. So I do like that they're making a good effort to make these fit well. We'll take his robe off though to get his Jedi robes. So we're actually in the retro collection now, between all of the different waves we've gotten. We are getting quite a few Jedi figures in their Jedi robes, which is nice. So once the Acolyte set comes in, which should be any day now, that number is going to grow even more. But with some of the Phantom Menace figures, along with the Obi-Wan Kenobi wave, we're just getting a lot of nice Jedi robes. So pretty simple, obviously, but it is a good look, and it definitely captures the feel that I think the retro collection is going after. Just those vintage style, kind of simple figures. It looks really good. So now, of course, he comes with his purple lightsaber. It's the traditional style lightsaber, looking really good. I like the color purple, it really pops. And looks like his grip is pretty tight, so he's able to hold that really well. Very nice figure. Looking good. And this was one, you know, if I would have made a list of Attack of the Clones, really all 3 of the ones that we got would have been on the list. You know, I just kind of wish that we would have gotten a few more figures, maybe another Obi-Wan Kenobi figure, and you know, some other characters. But beggars can't be choosers. You know, I think these retro collection figures, I do think there's going to be a shift in focus coming up here, just by some things that I've seen online. I do think we're going to get back to some remakes of the originals, but for now, you know, having some of these box sets come out is pretty fun. So there's Obi-Wan, or sorry, there's Mace Windu. We'll move on next to Jango Fett. Alright, here is Jango, looking really good. His armor has a nice shine to it. It's obviously not like the vac metal style, but definitely a good gloss to it. So, you know, obviously we can't have this figure without comparing him to the original Boba Fett. Now, one thing that struck me right away was just the chest on Jango is quite a bit broader. And then you can see, so obviously there are some differences in his armor, but even his wrist gauntlets are slightly different in detailing. But the rocket pack's pretty similar. I like how they have a piece that looks like it should shoot out of there. Kept that similar to the original. Helmet, again, slight differences in just kind of level of detail. Rangefinder all the way on the top of the helmet. I think more similar to some of the other Mandalorian figures we've gotten, versus the original Boba. It's kind of more tilted towards the front. So definitely some differences, but because it is the same armor, should be pretty darn similar. So I do like kind of how they did that. But Jango Fett, he comes with two little single blasters. Again, the grip. So there have been a few of these waves where the figures didn't really hold their weapons well, but I think they've really corrected that. He holds these really nice and tight. I think he looks good. So we'll get him right next to his buddy Mace Windu. Go. Looking good. I like that figure a lot. Just like the Jedi, where, you know, this adds to the collection of Mandalorian retro figures we've gotten. That number is quite high at this point. I can't even do the math off the top of my head, but definitely a cool looking figure. Fits really nicely into the retro line. Alright, moving on. Next up, Padme. Alright, with Padme, the first thing that really strikes me about this figure is just how petite the figure is. So I got the Princess Leia figure out to just kind of compare size, and it does look like her head, her body is just really thin. So I'll hold him up. I'll hold her up next to Anakin once I open him, but just seems very small. Head seems very small. So I mean, not a bad figure. I like the look of her outfit. I mean, it's pretty simple. I do like the cloth little cloak we have. It looks a little complex as far as getting it off, so I'm not going to really mess with that too much, but yeah, seems like a little shrunken down. So she does have a very small little blaster as well. Her hand is just so tiny. I don't know that I'll be able to get it in there. Yeah, this one I'm having trouble getting in her grip. So it's holding there, but it's not all the way in. It's just kind of barely sticking in there. I'll have to mess with that later to get it set up well. But yeah, so overall not terrible. Looks a little too small, but that's okay. Definitely a figure I think is a good addition to this this wave, this box set. So I won't complain too much. We will get Anakin open next. Here is the Jedi Knight Anakin. His black robes. Again, adding another Jedi, so simple design. Does have his gloved prosthetic hand there. But again, like I said, just comparing the scale. So, I mean, quite a bit bigger. I mean, he is a lot taller than Padme is in the movies, but yeah, maybe a little bigger difference than what the scale between the male and female figures typically is. But yeah, overall, this is a pretty good figure. The face sculpt, I mean, I know that these aren't really meant to look just like think it could have been a little better. I do like, I don't know if you can see that, there is a scar right there on the right eye. So I think that's a nice touch. Yeah, otherwise pretty good. He does come with his blue lightsaber. Looks good. All right, up next, the one I'm most excited about, General Grievous. All right, General Grievous out of package. So the cool part about this figure is obviously his 4 extendable arms. So all 4 do kind of extend out, so you can really get a wide wingspan there for when he's carrying all 4 blades. So it looks really good. Yeah, so at first these 2 were kind of pretty stiff down here. All the joints on these have been real stiff, but I had seen something online that these do come out. So if you have these and are unsure and don't want to break it, go for it. They are supposed to move, and they will. So he comes with 4 different lightsabers, 2 green, 2 blue. Really love the detail of this figure. This is getting to the point where it's almost too good for retro collection, but that's okay. We'll take it. Man, I mean, look at that. That is an impressive figure to add to my collection. I like that a lot. Very good. Big fan of that one. That was the one I was most excited about. Definitely delivers. Bonus points if you can write in the comments any of the Jedi that he got his lightsabers from. There we go. He almost needs his own space. Looking good. All right, last but not least, we'll crack open this clone trooper. All right, here is our clone trooper. I believe this would be a phase 3 clone trooper. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, looking good. I mean, obviously very simple design. You can't have this without comparing it right to the Stormtrooper. So here's a side by side, similar scale, very, a lot of similarities to the armor, but they definitely, made it its own figure. So really no reuse of any of the parts of the Stormtrooper, which I do like. The one thing, so I mean, I would say most people probably look at it as a positive, so it does have a swivel neck. I do think part of me feels like just a nice little callback to the original Stormtrooper one would have been to have the head molded onto the body and have it not swivel. So I get why they did it. I mean, obviously, it's more posable, playable with that, but there's just a small part of me that thinks it would have been fun if it would have just been molded in place. But comes with a really nice blaster. That's quite big. Again, I've said this with other box sets. I'll say it again. This is an army builder. We need these on card by themselves so that we can buy 20 of them. It's hard when it's a box set. I'm not going to buy multiple box sets to open up multiple of these. So I think Hasbro would be really smart to start selling some of these army builders individually or in a box set all of their own, so that we can start doing that. Missed opportunity, I think missed money. This, reuse the mold, sell us more. Let's go. But all in all, this is a great wave. My only complaint is that we're not getting more from the prequels, but that's okay. This is a good start. These will definitely go next to my Phantom Menace figures on my shelf. But yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see what's next. We do have the Acolyte 6-pack coming soon. I will post a video once I get those, and then from there, like I said, we've been getting a lot of hints from the Hasbro team that we will be returning to the original trilogy figures. My hope is that if we get box sets, we get 5 repeat figures, remake figures, and 1 original figure that we did not get in the original run. With the Cantina playset, I think there's a lot of opportunity to add some new aliens, maybe our favorite bartender, get some of those figures out that were never released originally, and pack along with them 5 remakes of those original trilogy figures so that we can round out our collections. That's my advice for Hasbro. I don't think they're listening to me, but if they are, I think that's what most collectors want. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. What waves do you want to see after the Acolyte? You know, and what figures that haven't been made, what do you want? What would you want packed into a set? So leave a comment, like the video if you enjoyed it. If you're not already subscribed and you enjoy my breakdowns, please subscribe to the channel. And until next time, may the Force be with you.